having a fantastic weekend with your family. We would be remiss if we didn't take a moment to reflect on the importance of today, to remember the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect this country. Shannon, when you think about Memorial Day, what does it mean to you?
A lot of what you just said, Jan. I think about the men and the women that fought here and abroad, gave their lives for the freedoms that we enjoy today, and they did it selflessly. I think that we don't do enough for the men and women that served or currently serve. I don't think they should have to pay for anything, Skip. It takes a special type of person to do what they do, that's willing to give their life with no guarantees. I mean, you look at the homelessness, we look at the benefits that they got to get and how they have to stand in line and wait and come back. That shouldn't have to happen. So from the bottom of my heart here at FS1, as I sit at this desk today, I want to say thank you from my family to yours for all the men and women that gave their life, this ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for allowing us to have another Memorial Day so we get an opportunity to do what we do because you did what you do.
I second all your emotions. I love and honor Memorial Day, and I love working to do this show on Memorial Day because it gives us this opportunity to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all who have served, are serving to protect this country in the military. I'm a war buff. I've studied all the wars, and you know and I know much blood has been shed to keep this country free. I know we have many, many problems here, but it's still the greatest country in the world, and it's still a free country because of all those who have died to keep it that way.
Yeah, we got a lot of problems. The military isn't one of them.
I agree.
Very well said, gentlemen, indeed. My grandfather and brother both served, and always important to remember, freedom is not free.
Yep.
It allows us to talk about the things we get to do here today, including the NBA Finals. The Celtics getting past the Heat in 7 games. They now advance to face the Warriors in the finals. Steph Curry and Golden State, slight favorites, guys, to win this series over Jason Tatum and Boston. That's according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. Shannon, you've been riding hard with the Celtics. Who do you think wins now, Celtics or Warriors?
I'm gonna go ahead and ride this wave out. I done rode it this far, Skip. I got to ride it out.
So you haven't awakened yet?
No, I've been awoke. I've been woke for a minute now. I'm sorry it took me them getting past the Milwaukee Bucks for me to awaken. But I believe they have the firepower to match them. I love the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown matchup. I think that favors the Boston Celtics. They can play small if need be. If they decide to play Kevon, I'm almost certain they're going to start Kevon Looney and Draymond, so that allows them to start Robert Williams and Al Horford. But if they choose not to, they can, Grant Williams can play the 5 and play Draymond. Al Horford can play the 5 and play Draymond. They have, and I love Marcus Smart. Skip, if you think about what they just had to overcome, they played Kevin Durant. We know what Kevin Durant represents. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's a league MVP. They got past Giannis, a 2-time MVP, a Finals MVP. They got by Jimmy Buckets, as good a player in the playoffs as we've seen in the last quarter century. And they got past all of those guys. It took them 7 in two of the three series, but they got past them. When I look at, and I understand, I know what Steph Curry is. I love Steph Curry games, and for me, I have him in a higher regard than a lot of people. But he's not the guy that's looking to put the ball on the floor and attack you like Jimmy Buckets is. He's not the guy that you're going to have to build a wall for like you did Giannis Antetokounmpo. But you better play him just as close of attention because he's looking to let the ball go from anywhere. They're going to get up more transition threes than anybody that the Celtics have faced in their series. That's what they're looking to do. And they got guys that can let it go. They got Steph, they got Clay, they got Poole that can hit you with a barrage. But I just believe the Celtics, this is a more favorable matchup for them because of the firepower that they also possess. I expect Jason Tatum to have a monster game. Klay Thompson is coming back, but he's not the same defender. And I'm not so sure, Skip, he's ever going to be the same. You tear your Achilles, you tear your ACL, and you missed 1,000 days, you're not the same player that you were when you left. Marcus Smart, be smart. You're not the first option. You're not the second option. You're not that guy. play defense, distribute the ball, and be smart. Okay, Jaylen Brown, it's your turn, bro. You're going to have a favorable matchup. Now, Klay Thompson can't guard everybody. They don't have great defenders. You can't make the mistakes that you made. You turn the ball over 24 times, Golden State's going to beat you by 30. It's as simple as that. You turn the ball over, you start getting to that 15, 17 mark turnover, Golden State's going to hang a lot of points on you because they're going to turn those missed shots, they're going to get runouts, and they're going to run out to shoot threes on you. But I like the Boston Celtics. I like Tatum. I like Brown. I love Al Horford. Hey, Derek White was big. Game 6, he was sensational. Came in and hit some big threes yesterday, Skip. He played well. Now, they're probably not going to go deep into their bench. Seemed like they only went, Pritchard might have played like a minute or something yesterday. I'm looking at it. Did he play?
He played zero. He barely got in.
Yeah, he played 2 minutes and 30 seconds yesterday.
Right.
They didn't play a whole lot. They went 8 deep. So I like this matchup. I like the matchup. I like this matchup for the Celtics more than I like the matchup against the Bucks. Now, I like them against the Heat because I didn't think the Heat had anybody but Jimmy Butler that could really harm us. They got a couple of guys over there at the Warriors, but I don't think they're nearly the tenacious defensive team that Milwaukee and the Miami Heat were. So I like the Celtics. I like it.
Right. In 6 games, you sticking with that?
It's probably, Skip, they're going to what concerns me, there's several things that concern me, is that they lost a couple of games. They lost 2 games in both series at home. That's concerning. And can you go on the road? Can you beat Golden State 3 times on the road? I don't know about all that. So before they lost that game Friday, Skip, I was gonna say 6 games. I'm gonna mend it. I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna say the Celtics take it in 7. They won a game 7. And
Okay, because you've been picking it in 6.
Yes.
Up to this moment, now you've switched to 7.
I've gone to 7.
Okay, I will give you this. I like your in 7 pick more than your in 6 pick. But in the end, the Warriors are going to win a 7th game at home. And I'll tell you why. In the end, in the biggest picture, I was not that impressed with what your Celtics just did, their path to the finals. Because the Nets were a wreck, a psychological internal wreck.
We did that.
Because Kyrie Irving would not get vaccinated, and they never recovered from that. Because obviously James Harden quit his way right out of town over that. Ben Simmons came to replace James Harden, and I don't know what happened. I guess he had a bad back and needed surgery, and that was the end of that.
Considering how James Harden played for the Sixers, I don't know how much help he would have been for the Nets.
Well, you could argue that. But Kyrie had one good 4th quarter in game 1, and then the rest of the way, he was basically a no-show. And
what about the other guy, the tall guy?
The tall guy got triple-teamed from game 1 on. And I'm going to give your Celtics this. This is the best defensive team in basketball. And it was the second half of the season. Since whatever it was, January 20th or whatever the date was when they fell to 18-21. Finally, Ime got through their heads the fact that you have to hang your hat on the defensive end. It's what he learned from Popovich. It's what those Spurs teams really were. In the end, they were defensive demons.
Yeah.
All their pride was on the defensive end, and it started with Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
This team starts on the defensive end with Al Horford because he is...
He's an anchor. He's an anchor.
He is really an anchor, and he just knows. He's Duncan-esque, and he knows how to play. He's not as tall or long as Tim, so he can't be quite as dominating as Tim was.
Strus found out the hard way,
well, he just ate it because that's what Al does.
That's what he does.
Because he's crafty. He's a shrewd operator. He's highly intellectual on the defensive end, high basketball IQ, and so it all starts and finishes with Al Horford, who's only about 6'9"-ish. But by the way, Kevon Looney is only 6'9", so maybe that's a wash. So the point is that they do play defense at the highest level, and they play smart defense because they'll switch it. They'll go into all kinds of junk defenses on you. And they junked up Kevin Durant's mind because every time he turned around, there was another Celtics up in his grill, and he folded.
Well, Skip,
When
they have Grant Williams playing alongside Al Horford, now they really can switch 1 through 5 because Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, all those guys, Al Horford, Grant Williams. You see Grant Williams, Skip, he's guarding Bam 1 minute, next minute he's on Strus, the next minute he's guarding Jimmy Butler, so he can guard 1 through 5. Al Horford, we saw Al Horford in the game. that had more to do with Jimmy Butler. They have Al Horford guarding Jimmy Butler. I don't know what Jimmy Butler's mind was, but clearly it wasn't on that game because we saw what he did in Game 6 compared to what he did in Game 5. So I like the matchup being able to switch everything. Draymond Green is going to be Draymond. He's going to run the offense. He's going to try to get some rebounds. He's going to try to challenge everything at the rim without fouling. But, JT, this your time to shine.
Now we go to a second round against Milwaukee. And what did we see? Well, there's no Chris Middleton. He didn't play one lick in that series.
He didn't.
He is the closer for that team. And Giannis missed him because it's much easier to say, we're just going to take Giannis out of this game.
Right.
We are going to build a wall. We're going to make it really hard on him. We're going to beat him up. We're going to get physical. This is an extremely physical basketball team.
Yes.
It takes your legs out from under you after a while, not literally, but figuratively. And Giannis alone was not enough without Chris Middleton making big shots to break the defensive down.
Basically, Skip, it was him and Holiday. It was Giannis and Holiday.
All right, and you're down on Drew Holiday, and he doesn't have the offensive firepower that Chris Middleton does because Chris Middleton can just rise up on anybody and make 18-foot jump shots.
He's a three-time All-Star.
Okay, all right, I got it. And then we come to the Miami series, and what did we see? Well, wait a second. Boston won 3 times at Miami.
Yeah,
okay?
Sure we did.
What did I continue to see at Boston? I saw a still couple of young superstars in Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, who gagged and choked and disappeared in big games, closeout games, big crucial games against both Milwaukee and Miami.